All right, wide receivers. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, a couple notable injuries off the top. Traylon Burks will miss some time with turf toe. Rashad Bateman is day-to-day with a foot injury. And Berry's Jahan Dotson could be out a week or two, in quotes, with a hamstring injury. So some very minor stuff across the board for those
minor
three
stuff, but I
young
mean,
guys.
just I think real quickly, like I don't maybe Robert Woods in in Tennessee. We'll see. He caught the touchdown last week, so
there's not much there.
There isn't much there, and feels like that offense is finally starting to get together. Worth noting, they play the Commanders this week. If ever there was a get-right game for an offense, it's facing the Commanders' defense, and I'm using air quotes for those listening at home to use the word defense over the Commanders. Bateman, Devin Duvernay is like the Clyde Edwards-Helaire of wide receivers. Like I keep saying, well, this production can't keep up. This production can't keep up. Well, this is a fluke.
And it's October.
I mean, we're 4 weeks in, right? And like
it's gonna be Halloween.
I mean, he keeps producing Devin Duvernay. So I mean, it feels like he would be the beneficiary there. And Jahan Dotson, I can't imagine there's anyone on the Commanders. Feels like maybe you'd see some more Diami Brown, but like really that offense is going to be McLaurin, it's going to be Curtis Samuel, it's going to be Logan Thomas, it's going to be the running backs.
And we talked yesterday how McLaurin's target share has been lower than usual, so maybe that simply comes back to the norm.
Here's hoping.
All right, looking at the waiver wire, starting with Michael Gallup, available somehow in 59% of Yahoo leagues. I don't understand
We've
that
been talking him up for a little while.
You
saw what happened, like first game back, boom. I mean, first game back, played 64% of snaps. He drew 65 yards of penalties. I mean, my Commanders couldn't keep up with him. He also scores the touchdown.
Most important part.
Right? He's had at least one end zone target at 7 of his last 2 games, whether it's Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott under center. And as of this morning, it feels like it's going to be Cooper Rush for at least one more week. Dak Prescott still having trouble gripping the ball. That's what that was for people seeing on air. That was me gripping a football. To be clear about that. And Jerry Jones saying about Prescott, the quarterback's grip on the ball is, quote, not well enough to play at the moment. We've still got a long way to go until the Rams game on Sunday, but you're 3-0 with Cooper Rush. Why are you going to risk it with your franchise guy? Michael Gallup plays the Rams, the Eagles, home to Detroit, home to Chicago.
Like that back-to-back.
Yeah, you don't love the next 2 weeks. Those are tough matchups, but still, Michael Gallup is a really good player. And this is an offense that is, whoever the quarterback is moving the ball. He's my number one pickup this week at the wide receiver position. Longer term, he's kind of 1A and 1 to 1A with the next guy. Those guys are right there next to each other.
Looking over in Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett starts the second half. The Pickens party gets unleashed. George Pickens available in 61% of leagues. He caught all 4 targets from Kenny Pickett for 71 yards. He had a 30% target share in this game.
That's what's important here. Once Kenny Pickett came into the game,
looked his way.
You see it there on your screen, a 30% target share for George Pickens. He went 4 for 71. He caught all 4 of the targets. Pat Freiermuth also got a 30% target share. Goes 3 for 36. Deontay Johnson does 15% target share. Goes 2 for 11. Chase Claypool 7.6%. Understanding that the offense still runs through Deontay Johnson. And if you watch if you go back and watch the picks for Kenny Pickett, one of them was a drop, one of them was
Hail Mary.
One of them was a Hail Mary, one of them was a deep ball that again Claypool got his hands on and should have been caught, or and the other one was just kind of a tip ball.
Yeah.
So I think if you go back and watch the tape, Pickett played better than maybe the stats suggest. And it's interesting, after the game, Mike Tomlin was saying I'm not ready to go there yet, and we were all like, oh, well, we are. Like, it's going to be Kenny Pickett. Stop it. And what do you know? The news comes out yesterday after we did the show. In fact, Kenny Pickett will start this week at the New York. They played. Oh, they didn't play the Bills. At the Bills. Sorry, they played the Jets last week.
The New York Bills.
The New York Bills.
They are,
by the way, Bills are double-digit touchdown favorites. They're 14-point favorites, courtesy of our friends at BetMGM. So means a lot of throwing. George Pickens, we talked about him yesterday, Connor, insanely talented.
Yeah. And Pickett, there was just a reliability there. Pickett dropped back and would throw him the back shoulder ball before Pickens was even expecting it. There was a trust there. You could tell they worked together a lot over the summer. It's a big boost for Pickens in my eyes. Okay, moving over.
Very excited. Anyway, Pickens, Gallup, I put Gallup over Pickens just because we have a lot,
He's done it.
We feel better about the Cowboys offense than we do than the Steelers with a rookie quarterback, and Gallup's done it. We just we think there's upside with Pickens, but we just haven't seen it yet. But I mean, it's coming. George Pickens is coming like that. So it's literally 1-to-1A. I think both guys have a lot of potential, and those would be my priorities on the waiver wire this week.
Also a potential great keeper situation with George Pickens.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's available in any keeper league. But if somehow if you're in one of those leagues that you can keep guys that you pick up as free agents, like it's not a true dynasty league, it's just you can keep 3 or 4 guys. Yet Pickens 100% on that one.
In Jacksonville, Zay Jones surprised inactive in Week 4 after he was expected to play with the ankle injury, available in 71% of leagues. He is wide receiver 43 on the season, even with missing Week 4. So that goes to show you how good Zay Jones has been. That's a big number, available in 71% of leagues. Jamal Agnew stepped in and performed.
The Jaguars are for real.
Yes,
the Jaguars are for real, and more importantly, that offense is for real. Again, we've talked about this all the time, but Doug Peterson, former NFL quarterback, comes from the Andy Reid school. We saw it at Philadelphia. He wants to pass. It's going to be a pass-heavy team. Even with a good defense, he's still going to be pass-heavy. And so Christian Kirk in the slot, but Zay Jones is their priority on the perimeter as well. Zay Jones over Marvin Jones, if you're picking a Jones there in Jacksonville. 22.5 target share so far this season. 2 of the last 3 games, he's gotten 9 targets. Again, he didn't play in Week 4, but 9 or more targets in 2 of the 3 games that he has played this year. Look at their upcoming schedule. Home to Houston this week, then at Indy, home to the Giants, home to Denver. Zay Jones is a thing, man, and he didn't get the deal that Christian Kirk got, but he got a real deal. He got a nice contract from Jacksonville. I'm a Zay Jones believer.
The powerhouse Detroit offense rolled on, and Josh Reynolds was a huge part of that with the Sun God and DJ Chark both missing Week 4. Reynolds is available in 80% of leagues. Barry, the last 2 games for Reynolds, 18 targets, 13 catches, 177 yards, and the touchdown. Huge production for Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, and again, all that production has come without Amon-Ra St. Brown, either healthy or on the field, right? So a lot of the production that came in Week 3 was after Amon-Ra St. Brown hurt his ankle, right? I mean, you sit here and see it on your screen. He's been playing over 70% of the snaps every single game this year, but Weeks 1 and 2, 3 targets. Week 3, 10 targets. Week 4, 8 targets. 6 and 7 receptions each of the last 2 weeks, north of 80 yards in each of the last 2 weeks. So honestly, this one is a little bit more Amon-Ra St. Brown health dependent. We'll also see if DJ Chark comes back. Remember, after this week, so they play the Patriots this week. Then I think it's a bye. Then they play the Dallas Cowboys, if I have that right. I think they're back. The Dallas is Week 7, I believe. So anyway, just, you know what I mean? Like, if Amon-Ra St. Brown is out, I would like Josh Reynolds once again at the Patriots. We'll see how the health goes there.
Feels like it's becoming a Josh Palmer situation with Josh Reynolds. When a starter doesn't play, you can get him in.
I think that's a great call.
This next one,
although it didn't work out for Josh Palmer this past week, but in theory,
in theory, typically.
Right? Yeah.
All right, this next one, Rondale Moore, available in 82% of leagues. This one, to me, Barry, is more about the fact that the human Dortch it just fell off a cliff when Rondale Moore returns. I don't know if either are going to be fantasy viable going forward. Rondale Moore, only 3.7 fantasy points. He did play in 86% of snaps. Is he worth giving a look?
I think so.
Okay, you're in.
So. Just, I am on him. Again, as you mentioned, we've seen this role in that offense with Greg Dortch be productive. The Cardinals' defense is bad. They're going to have to throw. They're going to have to find ways. AJ Green didn't play in this game. Marquise Brown is clearly the number 1 there, and they're using some Zach Ertz quite a bit as well. But I think the talent of Rondale Moore, who they were excited about in the offseason, first game back healthy. I think there's more upside with Rondale Moore than Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds is much more of a smart, a this week only kind of thing. I think long-term season, if you're looking for just more depth, and Gallup and Pickens are gone or not available, and same with Zay Jones, I do like the upside of Rondale Moore.
Last one here, Alec Pierce, very quietly, 60 yards in both games since returning from concussion, available in almost all leagues at 95%. A lot of promise over the summer about the rookie. Had a tough start to the year with the injury. I know we don't like this offense. Is there any kind of look here with Pierce?
Yeah,
Desperation?
Look, I mean, this is a guy that a lot of people like coming out of the draft as well, out of Cincinnati. And so they're going to have to find productions from somewhere. Yes, that offense is broken, but it can't all be Michael Pittman. So I don't mind Pierce. By the way, also keep an eye on what's going on in Buffalo. Just want to mention Khalil Shakir, who had a nice preseason and had a couple of nice plays in that game against Baltimore. Let's be, look, Jamison Crowder broke his ankle, by the way. He's going to be out indefinitely. So just want to be clear about that. Isaiah McKenzie, obviously, in the concussion protocol. We don't know if he's going to be available on Sunday. So Khalil Shakir might have a role here against the Steelers. If you're looking for people to drop, Elijah Moore, Allen Robinson, Julio Jones.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.